I had a $5 off coupon in there. It was a promo from something, but I couldn't use it on. I wanted just the thing, and it would qualify because it was already on sale. So I went back today when I found out they had the bag sale again. They're getting a lot of weird stuff in, so you never know what they're going to have. And I looked at it, and it had been repriced to $29.99, and it's just the Fantastic Four figures are all $30 a piece.
I'll be back. Oh, that sucks.
I heard all the Marvel Legends were going to go up at GameStop. There was an article that I read about that. Mine hasn't done it yet, but
no. I mean, maybe that was the first thing they sent down since it's the newest stuff and it's the most popular.
Like, because I was just in GameStop, I got the 2 exclusive Star Wars figures that just came out this week. So.
Yeah, I generally don't buy action figures from GameStop because they are just too expensive.
Right, unless it's something like you just don't see anywhere else.
Well, every now and then you get Lightning Collection exclusives that I have no choice but to buy them from GameStop.
Like Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed, they're doing.
That's not till August though. August though.
Oh,
it will be mine. It's the wedding anniversary set diecast.
And the thing is, too, like the promo video that the official Power Rangers account released for that had one price. GameStop has a completely different price.
I like someone's comment because they were like, why not just do a Rita Repulsa and another putty? That would have been great.
We'll get that Rita Repulsa in another way somewhere on it.
Or Finster, or But I think this Zed has more paint, or different paint, or better paint, or something.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it.
I didn't look at the Zed.
I saw something about the hand where the original paint was cast in plastic or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't paint his finger silver tips on the original.
Well, we'll see if that actually survives into the release version.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that they're actually going to paint them on this one either. So.
Yeah. Anything this week because my Target finally put out something new. They put out the one-step Avengers that has the Repugnus in it, and the little basic Cyberverse that have like the half modes. That is the first new Transformers stuff, other than that Cyberverse NCAP, since before Christmas. There is still nothing.
So you didn't get anything this week?
No. There's nothing to get.
Then you might want to go with that video this week because your audio is kind of suffering already.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and turn that off then.
Well, you can wait until Brian comes back so he can re-tinker the video,
okay.
Or you can just go ahead and do it. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get anything either. But then we're not going to have anybody on video hardly. So.
I mean,
yeah, but your connection's fine, Matt.
For now, until my internet inevitably starts cutting out.
Yeah, but I've gone to Target every day for the past almost 2 weeks.
I haven't gone every day. I've gone every couple days to the Walmarts around here, and honestly, I'm just sick of going and looking. So
I am too. I mean, Walmart, my local Walmart only got a refresher wave of Spinister, Crosshairs, Cassette, and Astro Train since Christmas, and all that's been in the past 2 weeks.
There's nothing I want badly enough to pre-order or pay for it now. Like I just kind of want to go out and pick something up just because it's there. But
yeah,
now I'm sick of going and looking. So if it's there, it can sit there for a while.
If Earthrise is using this HQ market, I've asked 2 different people that work in toys if they can scan the Deluxe, the Voyager, and the Leader class, and there is nothing showing on hand except what's on the floor. That's 4 Shockwaves, 3 Studio Series Megatrons, and that's pretty much it.
That's why they're not getting them. You have to go to the stores where they don't have inventory of Siege, and they're the ones that are going to get inventory of
there is no Siege. The only Siege on the shelf is the Shockwaves, and 2 of those are in the Studio Series Leader price point slot. Even they're not even in the right spot.
Doesn't matter. The inventory is right, though. You know what I mean?
No, well, I'm just saying that there's nothing. They've scanned them. There's nothing in the back. Everything's on the floor, and there's nothing on the floor. So I don't know. My guess is that it's sitting on a back in a pallet somewhere with one of their weird non-existent release dates. And
No, it's not. Target. They're the exact same DPCI. So
yeah, well, all I know is I was speaking to a lady it was right after Christmas, and she worked toys, hardware, automotive, and one other department in that back corner. She was allocated of her weekly hours 4 hours to work in toys a week. That's all she was allowed to work in toys. And I asked her, I said, well, how do you get product out? She says, we get out what we can every week, and then that's about it.
Oh, wow.
See, that's the problem. This time of year, toys is not given any priority, but it's still like, literally, there's nothing on the shelf at my Target. I mean, the hooks have been empty since Christmas, and other than that Cyberverse end cap and the new One Steps that was just put out today, apparently, that's it.
Target. Okay. I thought you were talking about Walmart.
Well, since Christmas, in the past 2 weeks, they got a box of cassettes, a restock of the Spinister Wave, and another case of commemorative Astro Trains. That's it.
Brian, were you able to find any Earthrise other than Hound?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Brian, Chris says my audio is already starting to really tank, so I'm going to go ahead and just get off video so you can tweak everybody at his better quality. Because I didn't get anything this week. There's nothing to get, so other than I got new rotors and brakes.
There's always stuff to get done. I'm just not looking at
No, there's really not.
There's not. Like I said, I just bought new rotors and brakes and put on the truck, and I bought my first Keurig machine. Well, a knockoff Keurig machine, but that's about it.
That doesn't do a bowl of coffee, though, Don.
No, it
No,
is.
well, that's why you got the knockoff one. That will do a bowl of coffee.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It's not Keurig, it's a Cure Extra.
Yeah, I kind of pulled a die cast because when I went to the local Walmart, they had on the back end cap a lot of their flavor Christmas coffees on the K cups on clearance for like $1.75 for a box of 18. And I'm thinking that's pretty cheap for a box of 18. I just need to get me a Keurig now to brew it. So I got one of the $20 Walmart K cup makers. So I'm going to drop my video, and there we go.
That's not the only thing that dropped this week.
Come on, I clicked the button. Why are you not working? Thank you.
Thank you. Come again.
I've got some stuff coming from eBay, but it hasn't arrived yet, so I can't really count that. I've got my getting ready for someone asked me if I was going to go to Orlando. It's like I have no vacation time left. I don't have any vacation time left at all, and I don't have the money after buying rotors and brakes.
I wanted to go so bad, and I can't swing it. Just with the new job and
my girlfriend was asking me the other day about what the convention schedule looked like, because we might be trying to use one of the conventions as our vacation this year since we couldn't go on the cruise last year. And
why not do a cruise this year?
Not right now, not anytime soon, because I've got to get some vacation time built back up because everything got reset first of the month. But she said she's never been to Canada, so we might.
It's funny because Don, your friends would have always thought that your girlfriend was in Canada.
Well,
she's not.
All y'all. But so we might go, since we now have passports that we didn't wind up. Well, she already got a passport. Yeah, I paid for a passport that I wound up not even needing because of the not going on the cruise. So we might go to TFCon Canada as a vacation this year. Because by the time
cool.
They haven't announced the next show after Toronto yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Chicago again. They do it every every other year is, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do 2 this year, so I'll probably just do Toronto. And
yeah, well, it's
I have the passport. It was expensive. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. It's just I like the Chicago. It's just driving would be such.
Toronto is a couple hours closer to me than Chicago is.
Right.
So there's also that.
Yeah. And which is sort of strange when you think about it. And she's only probably about 3 hours below you, with where as far as where she's from in West Virginia. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah, but we would probably fly in just for the whole week. We waste vacation time.
On your internet's horrible.
Yeah, god awful.
I don't. It's not. One thing I've got running is the YouTube. I'm not even playing the video, just so I can have the chat up.
You just have bad internet. It doesn't matter what you have up.
He used his 5 meg this month already.
I'm running in the background. There's nothing else going.
It doesn't matter. You have bad internet.
Yeah, you may want to consider not being on YouTube this week.
That's not going to matter. I mean, you just got the
That'll
chat
save
up.
some bandwidth.
The chat? We're talking about...
Well, Don, do you have the chat popped out into its own window, or are you still on the video page?
I've not seen a pop out for this chat by itself.
Just get out of the chat, Don.
See, that's part of the problem. No, so when you're on the video page and you see the chat there, there's like the 3 dots in the one corner. You click on that and it gives you a little sub menu and pop out chat as one of the options.
Oh, okay.
Don, if you had normal internet, it wouldn't matter, but you don't.
Or, Don, you can just click this link in the Skype chat.
Okay, well, the 3 dots is not coming up.
Well, you can click the link I just put in the Skype chat.
Okay.
And open the chat in a new window, and then close the video page because that's not helping anything at all.
Right. Well, the 3 dots was behind the Skype window. When you're in another window, and like I said, the 3 dots are ghosted out. So you click on them and nothing happens. There's no option.
Oh, the 3 dots are ghosted out. You need the power pellet then.
But you sound much better now.
I haven't done anything. All I did was click the link Christy gave me. I haven't closed anything else.
Oh, well.
No, your internet. It still sounds bad.
Right, so closing that window.
Kim said you're on your own, Brian.
Okay. All right. So I've closed out the other YouTube app.
Huh?
What did I do? What are we talking about?
I saw the boogie scraper.
Oh, the boogie scraper, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you're gonna use that on Ryan?" And she said, "No, he's on his own."
Yeah.
The things you never even knew existed.
God, you have to get kids' boogers out. Kim has a song about it. It's "Who Gets the Boogies Out? Mommy, Mommy." It's really cute.
Yes. Oh God.
Never want kids.
Ever.
Yeah. I don't have the patience. I've got too much of my father in me. I wouldn't have the patience.
Don, you don't need patience. That's when you're a doctor. You need patience.
Oh God. No.
You just need love and understanding.
Gotta step away again.
Chicken Boo, what's the matter with you?
You suck. That's what it is. That's what the problem is.
This coronavirus thing is really messing my my habit up. They
How
were
unfortunate for you.
pretty much not shipping. I'm pretty sure the shipping facility is closed down right now in China.
Yeah, I'm sure you not being able to get your toys is the biggest concern anyone has over the coronavirus issue.
Yeah, one of my eBay purchases got canceled because of that. The guy was like, "Look, I'm not going to be able to get this out."
I've had some orders that shipped, and they're normally to the warehouse in, like 2 days, maybe 3, and they've been shipped for like 2 weeks, and they're just like in limbo, not going. That's why I think the warehouse.
They're waiting to be incinerated.
They're waiting for the shipping facility to be open to receive the packages.
Well, I mean, it's since we're in pre-show, I'm going to go ahead and mention this. So pre-show doesn't count for the drinking game, but
are you sure?
Yes, it does.
It always counts for the
If
drinking.
you're watching, it counts.
Anyway, everyone take a drink. Bobby Skullface did a video on the coronavirus, what it is, and how it impacts our hobby, and precautions you can take or things you need to know. So it's a pretty informative video, and he's trying to help, spread the word about what it is, what it isn't, based on his research. So it's a pretty important video as far as our side of the stuff goes. But yeah, Chris, you're right. This is getting our shinies is not near as important as these people that are sick.
There's John. Hi, John.
I mean, did we really need a video to explain coronavirus?
Well, I mean,
some people need a video to explain everything to them. Honestly,
yeah, it's true.
And also the fact is, some people kind of forget. It's like it's all about me, and it's not. This is bigger than just, like I said, us not getting our shinies. So I mean, it's important that everybody keeps stuff in perspective.
Well, I mean, apparently it is all about diecast, and that's the whole context in which he brought this up to start with.
Well, I was trying to.
We're talking about plastic figures here. That's and then all the other stuff. Of course, they need to get better. They need to hopefully kick this thing and all that stuff. But man, I want my plastic crack.
Well, I should have something interesting to talk about next week from the look of this tracking.
Me too, because luckily Amazon Japan is working just fine.
Oh, speaking of Amazon Japan,
that's because I'm pretty sure they have a transporter that they haven't told us about yet, and they can.
They're in Japan, not China.
Beam it, yeah.
No, he means literally a transporter.
But
the way they ship stuff, I kind of believe it.
Yeah,
it just shows up from Japan in one of the Amazon warehouses, and then they just deliver it.
Go ahead, Don.
Thank you. I saw on Amazon Japan that they had Black Arachne down to $97 US, which is kind of tempting. As good as she looks.
I'd rather have the $97.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do with $97.
Yeah.
There's John said no video, but I need to put something in that corner, so I'll put something in that corner.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, did you ever find your Astro and or your Galaxy Mega and Delta Mega?
No, I haven't actually gone looking for them yet. I mean, they probably got packed into the storage building with other stuff when I was being a little careless. I mean, they're around somewhere.
If nothing else, a picture of John's going in that corner.
I just lost everybody's video except for Matt. That's gonna be
Can't
fun.
you just slide the chicken booth
Who
photo?
else's video do you need?
Well, when it's available, I like seeing the stream feedback.
John looks so happy in that photo.
Yeah.
I mean, I would too if I was in that situation. I'm a child of the 90s. You know, the Ninja Turtles are important to me.
No, I was being sarcastic. He's just like, I'm with some turtles.
It was work for John, though.
It was work for the turtles, too.
It was.
Oh, Brian, you're the only one probably old enough to even catch this.
Thanks.
But Robert Conrad. Well, I'm saying as far as you're close to me versus the other guys. But Robert Conrad passed away the other day.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. That's unfortunate.
Brian's like 5 months older than me, but
I'm like a month. I'm like 2 weeks older than Rob.
Yeah.
I'm like a year older than John.
Well, you would know Robert Conrad from Wild Wild
Yeah.
West.
Well, I never actually watched it.
Really?
Yeah, I know the show though.
Yeah. And I just saw on the news feed the drummer for Willie Nelson just passed away, Paul English.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I just saw that.
Is that Billy English's father?
Is that a joke? I don't know if that's a joke or not.
Yeah.
It's Diecast, who knows?
I'm also pretty sure Diecast got the name wrong. But
Hey, how
heard
do I
English.
sound? I'm talking on an iPad. I'm curious.
They're fine.
All right.
Hey, John, you've kept up more with the tech sector than I have. Well, you and Brian both, but
That's like Diecast's thing.
well, it's
But he doesn't like
not,
diecast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't know how much he was still involved with it. I mean, I just know, y'all two keep up with it more than me anyway. Obviously, because all my stereo equipment is still using cable and RCA plugs, obviously. But
because he got it at
everybody.
Service Merchandise.
yes, everybody drink. But no, my girlfriend needs to replace her iPhone 5, and
Yeah. She needed
Get
to
an
replace
Android.
that like 4 years ago.
well, I mean, it was a gift from someone who's no longer with us, and so she really didn't want to get rid of it until she had to, but it's got to the point where she has to. And she's on Verizon. So where's the best place for her to get the best deal on something a little more recent?
Wait,
Probably Verizon.
I just completely blocked this out because I've been trying to fix something else. So,
Sorry.
your girlfriend
Girlfriend.
needs a new phone, and she wants something
Right.
new.
Well, yeah, but she wants to stay with iPhone. She doesn't want to go to Android. She wants to stay with iPhone.
Oh, screw it. I don't want to talk about it then.
Get the iPhone 11. It'll be almost
You might as well
free.
just talking to a rock if you're going to do that. If you're going to do that, Don.
I mean, I've always I was tempted to switch from iPhone a while ago, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max that I have is honestly the best phone I've ever had, and the first one with decent battery life.
yeah.
And how many
Well,
years of contract do you have to keep in order to pay that off?
18 months, and then I got 4 more months after that to pay it off.
Yeah.
So 24 months, but that's not bad.
Well,
that's average.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a car lease.
like the norm.
It's
No,
normal.
car
Well, see-
leases are like 6 years now.
Well, we went to Sam's the other day to get a hot dog, and we were just out and just wanted something light. So we went to Sam's and got a hot dog at the snack bar because they got Nathan's
those
hot
are light.
dogs.
Those
Well,
are
I
like
mean, they're-
bricks. No, they're not. Actually, I take that back. Those are amazing hot dogs.
Yeah.
the Nathan
I never
hot
knew
dogs are
anyone
good.
that went to Sam's Club just to get food.
No, that's,
like,
that's what
well,
you do when you
but-
don't live near an IKEA.
Well,
I go to
here's
Sam's
the
Club to
thing
get
that
food. I
go
would
to
get
I go
hot
to
dogs.
Sheets to get
Yeah.
Sheets to get.
well our sheet they tore down our sheets to build a new one. They're doing a whole rebuild on that. Now, see, locally, Brian, and you know this because you live in the same area roughly as I do.
Mhm.
She does not like the red dogs. I don't like the red dogs. I've never liked the red dogs. And Sam's is about the only place you can get an actual real hot dog that's not one of those those bread Jesse Jones kind of hot dogs.
No, the Sam's hot dogs are really good. They are the Nathan's hot dogs, and those Nathan's doesn't make them; they're licensed. But
yeah,
they're those are really good hot dogs. Yeah. Those are some premium dogs, Don.
Yeah, we were looking at the phones there, and it was like I mentioned this on Twitter the same day. It was like $48 a month for a phone, and it's like $900 or $1,000 for this phone. And the one down from it has a slightly less screen, but everything's the same, and it's like $798. And it's
you know math, Don, so I think you're figuring it out on your own.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I got an LG KB8 for $168 for $8 a month.
That's a crappy phone, Don. I mean,
it does what I need it to do.
Yeah, well,
it does fine.
Tell her to get that. Then she'll be happy if you're happy.
It's just I was trying to find a better value for her. I just can't believe, like I said,
there's your problem, Don. There's no such thing as a better value in an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, I ran a wireless kiosk. I
sold
Sprint.
Merchandise?
No, I did start selling phones with service merchandise on the Motorola 550 Flip, the old model 550. But no, I mean, we had Sprint, T-Mobile, we had Alltel, which was a regional area company.
Mm-hmm.
But that's back when we did manual contracts that were this long. Well, my video's off, so you can't see that, but I'm gesturing on a long 8.5 by 13-inch form, give or take. Well, we'll find something. It's just, but yeah, her iPhone 5 is about ready to it's doing a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, Don, I mean, I'm kidding. The iPhone's a perfectly good phone.
I've never had any problems with mine.
Yeah.
Other than, I'm still I still have a 6, so yeah, my battery's about dead. But
yeah, the iPhone's a great phone, so just get her whatever.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, not that I'm going to see you anytime soon, so it probably doesn't help, but I can replace an iPhone 6 battery in approximately like 30 seconds. So keep that in mind if you ever, like I said, I don't know when the next time.
It might be more cost effective for him to just drive to your place for a day to have you replace his battery than for him to take it somewhere to be serviced or to get a new phone.
Well, if you have a Staples around you, I think they do it for like $30 or $40.
That's not bad.
It does cost me $40 one way to get to his house on the Turnpike.
Turnpike's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, Rodimus Supreme,
toll roads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kmart.
Well, I can get there without toll roads. It just takes a little bit longer, and I have to drive down Roosevelt Boulevard, which I would rather pay the $40 on the Turnpike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine a stretch of 10-mile city road with a stoplight at every corner.
Oh, I grew up with that in the Chicago suburbs.
Yeah.
When, back then, my context for things that were far away was oh, wow, that's 3 miles away. That would take all day to get there.
I'm pretty sure Roosevelt Boulevard is one of the 10 most dangerous roads in the U.S. if you look it up on Google or something.
For traffic accidents or carjackings? Or
traffic accidents.
Mm-hmm.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
Once was enough.
Sometimes I do still think about the contrast, and it kind of blows my mind. I have to drive 10 miles to go to the grocery store now, one way. And before years ago in Illinois, it was just oh yeah, we'll go a quarter mile down 2 roads, and it'll take 15 minutes to get there still, but it's barely any distance from home.
I miss
the idea then of going 10 miles in one direction to get to a grocery store or anything would have just been unthinkable, I guess.
I went to 4 Targets on lunch today.
I can't do that.
Yeah, so it's I couldn't live like where it used to be, where it took me 20 minutes to get to Walmart or 15 to get to a grocery store. I couldn't go back to that.
Even if you removed the travel time for me to get from my home to Nashville, where the Targets are, it would still take me well over an hour to go to 4 different Targets because they're still pretty spread out in Nashville.
If I wanted to take a longer lunch, I probably could have made 7 Targets.
Jeez.
I know. There's like 9 in the area, like within an hour. So, but I just don't want to make that drive.
Did you only stop going to Targets because you found what you wanted, or did you give up?
It was lunchtime. Traffic sucks, so I was just I didn't want to drive deep into Charlotte to look. I was in North Charlotte. That's all I did. I went and I hit a couple, and I hit 3 in North Charlotte and 1 here. Yeah.
Oh, it's showtime.
Yeah. I guess we can do this. Help if I was recording. Blah, 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 blah. Nah. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, I need to hit. Oh, I haven't been recording. Oh, I have been recording. To be or not to be? That is question. What is answer? Me not know. That was Zob's Grimlock from years ago. Okay. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 661. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have on mute Donald Ferguson. Still on mute.
Hey, yo.
Not you. You're John. We have John DeLuna as well.
Oh, I'm sad. Who else is on mute?
Don. Don can't get off mute, it looks like.
That's not his shtick. That's my shtick.
I know, right?
No, I can't. It's just, Skype has actually responded to my mouse commands this week so far. So
what took you so long?
Don should be on mute way more, but he's not. I'm the mute guy. My world is rocked.
We also have Chris.
I'm not on mute.
Oh, he's not. Matt.
I should be on mute.
And Diecast.
They love when I'm on mute.
Who should be muted? Yeah.
Rob.
I'm sorry, was that mute or neutered? I couldn't make out which one that was.
Oh God. Okay. And Jason, of course, isn't here either. It's a rare treat now when Jason's here. Yeah.
Jason's come down with an abstract case of life.
Yeah. The work sees. Yes, the work sees.
An abstract case of life, John?
It's okay.
Are you sure that's the word you meant to use?
It's okay.
It works. It's colorful. It's bright. It's cheery.
So, let's see. What do we got going on here? There's news.
Oh, it's almost Toy Fair.
It's almost Toy Fair. We got the biggest news, second biggest news, third biggest, depending on how you want to look at it, of Don's life today. But I have not spoken to him about it. We're going to hold until we get to it. But
I have no idea what you're talking
about. Thank God.
So,
I didn't either. Jason mentioned it in our internal email, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that. I should have put that in our album art for this week, but no, I didn't. Yeah, wasn't thinking. But because we have so much Earthrise stuff to talk about this week. So much. Actually, we'll see Earthrise stuff at Toy Fair, which is on February 22nd. We'll have our live stream starting at 12 Eastern Time, running till hopefully 4 or 5 Eastern Time that day. We'll see how it goes. I think last year we ended like at 3.
Yeah, we ended early last year.
Yeah, it's our biggest event all year. We have a lot of fun with it. It's a blast. We basically build our year around it. We're going to have a lot of people on. And hopefully in the last hour or so, we'll have some live calls. We'll see how that goes. Chris and Matt are looking forward to it. Yep.
Not as much as the year in review show, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe more, maybe less. Patreon, you can join at patreon.com/tfradio. We hit our first goal, which means I have to create... Actually, I think I already have created it, but I have to set it to be live. The Discord server for the podcast, which means we'll be in and out of it. Some of us more in, some of us more out. But we'll have that. It'll be public. But there will also be panels or channels for patrons. So by next week, we will have that live. We'll tell you more then. We have some more things things out there you can unlock, other goals. Maybe some neat stuff coming that way here in a couple weeks. Don't know. We'll talk about it. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. What else do we need to cover? Besides, like, what we got, because, dear God, that's going to be most of the show today.
Sorry.
God, there's not a lot of news.
I'm going to go. Can I go first?
We kept it light.
Yeah. Can we kept it first? Can I go first? Do you mind? I'm not going to talk about Earth. I'm not going to talk about my Earthrise.
Yeah, you're going to step
stuff.
on my toes.
I'm gonna skip the Earthrise stuff that I have, because I will say basically I got a couple things. Actually, I got one thing. Yeah, but I got two of it because one of the targets, a local target, got stuff in, and they had two things, and one of those things was just Siege Hound that someone had like swapped right there in the store. And took Cliffjumper with them, so I'm just screwed out of that. So I've been to like 4 targets today on lunch. I was at 5 targets yesterday. I probably won't hit target up until this weekend, but I will probably go to 7 or 8 because I have that many in this area. So I will go until I find something. But so I got a Rare Studio Series toy. Rare for me because I don't buy Studio Series, but I saw Soundwave, so, you know, I wanted it. I got it. It's okay. I started to transform it, then I stopped because I'm like, I don't care. I wanted it for the robot mode, and I'm just not going to go through the effort. It looks nice. It looks like the way I want it, so I've got it.
It can't be that much effort.
No, well, I mean, I'm lazy. I'm a lazy man. I'm so lazy.
We'll see. For me, Brian, I kind of cancelled my pre-order because after I saw a review, he's not hard at all, Chris. But that's just it. He doesn't do anything really unique as part of the transformation. It looks good in robot mode, but with most Studio Series, you've got some kind of level, some interesting twist or an interesting way of getting there. He's about as much of a wind charger transformation as you can probably get. Not exactly like Wind Charger, but just the typical, fold out the legs, fold down the arms, fold up the head, and you're kind of there. I mean, it's just nothing really unique. You get a good-looking robot, but there's nothing unique about the transformation.
I feel like that happens a lot with like cars in Studio Series in particular, because like those movie designs are so complex, and to get from a normal looking car to one of those bags of knives or what have you, with the engineering budget that's available to Studio Series at the deluxe level, it kind of just has to be simple and cheaty transformation. There's not really a way for it to do anything super interesting or unique because it would go over budget.
So other stuff I got, I don't know why I got these. I don't know why I got any of this stuff because I basically, like everybody knows, I've been working through trying to clean up, organize my collection and stuff very early in the stages of that. But one thing that I have to do is figure out what I'm going to collect. And I basically have created a checklist of things that I want. And one of the things that doesn't make the cut, for the most part, is going to be Cyberverse. And for whatever reason, I bought 5 Cyberverse figures this week. So I guess that's, I'm not doing a good job with that. So I got the Step Grimlock. So is this the same toy it came out before? Because it's similar. Got Ramjet and Dead End. And like this is one of those Cyberverse toys that we used to make fun of that only have like a half a transformation. Remember those?
Yeah. Oh, the Scout class ones.
Yeah. So that kind of sucks.
Did you find your Repugnus?
I got a Repugnus. Actually, I guess
that's worth getting.
Yeah, I guess those. Yeah. So it's like if I have a sentimental attachment to the character or toy, I'll justify it. And those aren't the 1-step. These are the 1-steps. Those are this whatever what class is it again? Scouts. So, but yeah, these are the 1-steps. So I got Repugnus. I like it. I really do. It's for a 1-step. These are pretty darn nice. It's got the look. It's got a little action gimmick here with the claw or the pictures. So that's pretty cool. And also got Bludgeon.
And he looks so happy in bug mode,
It
too.
It does. And Bludgeon, I love how Bludgeon looks. I love how both of them look. I could totally justify these. These are both great. Of course, the transformation's easy. Well, it's the one-step changer. But I really dig these. I really do dig these. I would buy more of those. And one semi-related item. So we're not going to talk about it because I didn't put it in the news and T-Formers didn't have an article on it, but there was some sort of leak or something today about the new G.I. Joe line over and above what we talked about before. And it looks like Jazzwares is making action figures, which is what I assumed. Some people thought that it might be like the roleplay stuff, but I figured that, they make action figures, so why not? So I got the Havoc Fortnite figure because it looks like Firefly. And Firefly is pretty much my favorite G.I. Joe character, one of 2 or 3. So I got it to go with the line when it comes out. And I got that Sergeant Slaughter a couple weeks ago to go with it. The interesting thing, though, is when you put them together, like to scale, Sarge is like a scale foot taller than Firefly. And G.I. Joe figures are all the same height. So it feels weird, but in reality, Sarge would be about a foot taller than Firefly. So it is actually kind of neat because Sarge towers over Firefly, or Havoc in this case. So I'm actually good with that.
Although I'm not sure his head should be like 2.5 times as big.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. But it's a nice figure. It's a really nice figure. It has 40 points of articulation. So one thing that got me, I'm
sorry, how many?
It says 40 on the box. 40. 40. When I opened it, I tried to stick the gun in the hand. I'm like, it doesn't fit. Like, why doesn't the gun fit in the hand? The hand has the trigger. I'm like, why doesn't it fit? Then I realized, there's a hinge in the hand where it can grab onto the gun. And then I'm like, this is the best toy ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much was that?
$20, $18.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sweet. I'm not going to buy any more of them, I don't think. But
you're waiting for the G.I. Joes.
Yeah, dude, it's sweet. It's got the pivot on the ball of the foot, ankles. I mean, it's pretty rocking. It's a nice figure.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wish it was green, so I could have a beach head. But yeah, I'm very pleased with that. So it's worth getting. So I'm done. Chris, who wants to go before Chris? Who wants to go before Chris? Anybody else? Because Chris is going to take up the rest of the show.
Chris has to go last in the notes.
Yeah.
So luckily, I don't think anybody else got anything.
Okay.
I got something.
What? What'd you get?
All right. I got...
Because I'm going to ride mute and chug caffeine, so...
Because there's not much out there, Walmart had the Megatron, the 35th anniversary cel-shaded one.
Yeah.
On sale, and my Walmart restocked and got like maybe a handful of more primes.
Nice.
I picked up another set to keep them in the box because they're just so nice, and I don't think Hasbro's going to do cel shade again. For some reason, I think these were very expensive, and they're going to be a one-off. I hope I'm wrong because I love the cel shaded stuff. Like, I would love for them to do that Earthrise, Voyager, or Starscream in cel shaded. That would be amazing. But I don't know.
How much for the Dogcast?
The Megatron was like $17 on Walmart.com.
Oh,
and then the Optimus was regular price. But I picked that up actually in the store, not online.
Yeah, Walmart's website is sold out, the Optimus.
Yeah, and on Amazon, at tfradio.net/Amazon, he's up to like $50 already.
Yeah, that's because it's only from resellers.
Yeah, my friend Jason, not the Jason from the show, sent me that, and I just completely ignored it. I'm like, I already have it. I didn't bother to check to see how much it was, though. I should have got it. Yeah, nice. $17 is a great price for that toy.
Yeah, and I really like that Megatron. Still really interested to see, probably at Toy Fair, what the Voyager Megatron for Earthrise is going to be like.
Yeah, I think if the Earthrise Megatron ends up not being to my interest, I might pick up that cell shaded Megatron to have like a little bit better copy of that mold.
Yep.
Because my regular Siege Megatron's really early run, and it's got the loose neck panel, and the ankles don't quite work right. So it'd be nice to have one that's the way it's supposed to be, and also a little bit cleaner looking.
And then I haven't gotten any Taubell shipments yet. Hopefully the coronavirus gets under control over there, so I can start getting shipments again.
Has that kept you from getting stuff?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Chris.
Good.
I'm literally, people watching video, you can watch me chug this Monster Hydro and this Coke Energy real quick. So just, I'll be taking a drink as Chris talks.
Yeah, I mean, if you go cumulatively here, like, you'll be hitting like all the drinking game points probably all at once for everything I'm about to say. So I actually made some notes I'll be referring to just so I don't forget anything or go too off track. So I got a bunch of Earthrise stuff. I had the Micromasters last week, and now I have everything except for Battlemaster Sound Barrier. So this is going to take a little bit. So I'm going to start with Cliffjumper as soon as I put the backpack back on so it looks right. Cliffjumper is parts forming, but it's not that bad. In vehicle mode, the hands hold the roof panel on. It can be a little bit tricky to get that off of there since both hands are holding on at once, and you can't really.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, so like there's these two pegs on the back of the roof piece, and that pegs into the hands when it's in car mode.
Oh, wow, okay. I just literally thought his hands were like, Don't fly away.
Basically. Yeah, it's like if you see those pictures on Reddit or whatever of dubious oversized cargo on small cars where people do have their hands out on the roof and are holding giant pieces of plywood down. It's kind of like that, or couches, mattresses, what have you. So yeah, Cliffjumper is pretty small. Unfortunately, though, it is still noticeably bigger than an actual Legends toy. I've got C-Spray here for reference, and for some people, this is going to be a problem because Cliffjumper does look bigger than it should compared to the existing Autobot mini vehicle characters. I'll probably live with it. I probably can live with it. But there's a lot of engineering packed into this little toy. The legs especially, there is a whole hinge joint here that flips the legs around to the other side for car mode. The feet unfold and kind of flip around with the wheels flipping out. Like, it is deluxe level engineering in something just slightly bigger than a Legends toy. So looking at it in terms of the size, for $20, yeah, it'd probably be a hard sell, but it's not like you're literally buying a Legends toy for a $20 price point. It's more complicated than like a Beast Wars Basic or like a movie era Scout toy. It could be a better value for the money probably, but it's still doing better than what it seems like just looking at the box.
Is it as nice as Breaker though, or Wheelie? Breacher, pardon me.
Breacher was the one they recolored into Brawl, right? For Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is really nice. I like Cliffjumper more.
Oh wow, that's a great toy.
And I guess Titan's Return Wheelie was also pretty nice, but like again, Cliffjumper is very much more complex, feels more substantial for the size, because there's more material packed into it. The first transformation for this, like it took me some time to actually figure out where the different parts went, which I appreciate. It's not like it's a frustrating thing. It was just like a satisfying challenge. Which I did not expect for as small as Cliffjumper was. Like I was very pleasantly surprised the whole way through just how much above its weight it's punching. Now I did encounter that like the first time it transformed, some of the paint scratched off the shoulders because the shoulder blocks are painted red; they're not cast in red, and that just kind of seems unavoidable. Hopefully, it has not progressed much past that with more transformation. So hopefully, that's just something that happens the first time you move those parts, and afterward, it'll just kind of stay as it is.
That's how they work battle damage into this line.
Well, wait till we get to the hoist, I guess. So I like the bazooka. Like having that also become extra car parts is some added fun for the toy. It's a nice big bazooka too. And I did some counting and some weighing here, and it's actually exactly the same number of parts, almost exactly the same number of parts and same plastic mass as a Battlemaster figure. Minus the Battlemaster's like gun barrel parts. So there's definitely potential for reuse of this mold to get something like a little posable humanoid shaped figure, and it should stay within the same budget. So
Sweet.
A Bumblebee with an exosuit spike totally seems plausible.
Nice.
But yeah, that's about all I had for Cliffjumper. The articulation is pretty good. The neck joint is a little bit more limited than I'd like. It can turn. It's pretty stiff, but like for up and down movement, it's very restricted. The car mode is solid once you get it all together too. It looks a little bit goofy next to like Wheeljack's car mode because of the scale difference, but it's pretty good with Hoist and Optimus Prime. Like those three kind of pair together pretty well. Yes, those three pair together well. I'm doing good with the English here. This is what happens when I go off script. Let's see. So next up, I've got Wheeljack.
Ooh.
So first thing is, yes, the wings are very small, but they just peg in. They're 5mm pegged in, so there can absolutely be like aftermarket add-on wings or extension parts that could be designed for these. Like it'd be very easy for someone to customize out larger, more proportionate wings if that was something that was important to them. Also, okay, so I've got the missile launcher, the rocket launcher on the shoulder here. There's a bit of an unsolved mystery with this, which I'm not sure if this will show on the camera, but there's a port on the back of this piece, which it's 5mm, but there's also a little square slot that comes out the bottom. So, like, it's designed to be keyed, but there's nothing that plugs into that.
I can see that.
There is no corresponding peg or tab system on this toy that goes with that. So, like, either it's something that got cut from the design along the way before, or like when it was too late to change this accessory, or this is like a pre-tool kind of thing for whatever this mold's going to be in its next life, and there's going to be another accessory piece. And that's not the only unsolved mystery. Actually, Barricade64 on Twitter pointed out to me a little bit before showtime. The peg that plugs this car roof shield onto Cliffjumper's back actually fits perfectly into a little slot on the back end of the bazooka for no identifiable reason. You can just have that plugged on there, and it fits perfectly, and there's, like, it doesn't, the piece that it plugs into can't fit inside the car or anything. So it's not like a storage thing. It's just more weird ports and intercompatibility that seems to serve no actual purpose. Wheeljack's articulation, especially in the shoulders, is a little bit above average because of how the transformation has to work. The elbows, though, don't really go quite as far as I would like them to. So it's kind of like, take with one hand, give with the other. The transformation is pretty simple overall, but inside the legs, there is little chunks of the car's windshield. These form the very front tip of the canopy. And you have to move these out of the way at a very specific point during transformation, otherwise they will explode off of the leg.
So it's a masterpiece.
Little bit, yeah. Yeah, actually, I had Masterpiece Exhaust for a little while, and this isn't entirely dissimilar.
Oh, that's way worse.
Yeah, I don't really feel the need to own new G1 Masterpieces at all. I mean, they kind of went away from what I liked about Masterpiece anyway, which was kind of like, reimagining, but also combining the best of various elements. But that's kind of getting off track here, and this is going to take long enough as it is.
We'll complain about that later.
Yes, we will. But no, the little windshield pieces thing is kind of annoying. I don't immediately see why they could not have had that like fold in underneath the actual rest of the windshield, because like there's just the chest here and it's basically hollow behind it. They could have probably engineered that so it would fit together and be a better end experience to have fewer panel lines probably too, because when you get in car mode this way there is kind of like this T of panel gaps in the front, which doesn't look the best. Speaking of panel gaps, I did have some trouble at first getting the car body panels to close up. There were some pretty big gaps. It seems like the engineering tolerances are a lot more precise than what I'm especially used to. So, little inaccuracies with how you have one or another part aligned to each other kind of adds up to big misalignments in the overall finished vehicle mode. So you have to be kind of a little bit more precise than you might be used to when you're transforming this to make sure everything gets into exactly a right spot.
So that sounds like, do you think there's a new designer there who's still learning the ropes, or do you think that's just a change in philosophy?
I mean, it might be a little bit of a change in process, or, as Takara rotates people in and out, you will, of course, get slightly different takes on the engineering, and I think that might be possible because of what I'll talk about a little with Starscream in a few minutes. Diecast, did you have a question?
Yeah, what port were you saying serves no purpose on Wheeljack? Because I'm holding Wheeljack right now, and I'm not really...
Okay, so the little missile launcher accessory for the shoulder?
Yeah.
On the back of that, there's the opening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 5mm opening with a slot on the bottom of it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't see any purpose for it, so it's either a leftover of something that didn't make the final cut, or we'll find out about this more in the future.
Yeah. Yep.
So the car, it's no Lancia. Lancia is a really cool looking car. This, does the best it can to kind of grab that sort of feel while not being legally actionable. But the sponsor tampos, the many sponsor tampos, all came out looking good and clean. There's no errors with the paint coverage on that. And when you do get everything all lined up correctly, the body panels match together really well. It's really clean looking, and it's very solid in car mode too. So overall, it's good. There's just some annoying parts of it.
Have you noticed any political
I didn't look that close. I'm pretty sure they're keeping a tighter lid on stuff like that. Yeah. And honestly, with that having happened in Power of the Primes, I was kind of surprised to see all the Cybertronian writing happen during Siege, because that just seemed like it was asking for trouble. But yeah, there's probably an extra step of approval process now for all print work that goes onto a toy. Hoist. Where did I put Hoist? So Hoist is like a Transformer as a Rice Krispie. Which is to say, it looks a lot bigger than normal thing, but if you examine it closely, you find it's mostly just air. So, here's Hoist and here's Wheeljack. Hoist is much bigger, but it's also much more hollow on the inside. Let me see if I can open this up. You can see here, the whole inside of the torso is empty. The front of the torso is another big empty shell. The inside of the thighs are all hollow. Inside of the arms are hollow. Back of the legs are hollow. They've just kind of expanded everything as much as they can to get the volume up without adding any more plastic mass than they can absolutely avoid. The arms are weird. They got an atypical shoulder construction, so the outward movement is its own separate swivel joint here. And then the forward rotation happens over here, and there's the big truck panels that just don't go anywhere. You can't change the angle of them or anything. They're just stuck exactly like this in whatever rotation orientation you have them.
So Prime Bricks is asking, how big is Hoist to Ironhide or Spinister?
Oh, let's see. I got a packaged ratchet over here. We can probably do something with that. About comparable in height, I think. You can see there.
Oh yeah.
It's about comparable. I actually think the Ironhide mold might be a little bit more substantial than what Hoist ended up being, but Hoist also has a big backpack unit with a lot of separate pieces too, so that's going to take away from what can be in the actual main body integral. But yeah, the arms look and feel kind of weird. And this is another place where we can talk a little bit about design change. So this is something that kind of goes with all of these toys. A lot of places where you would have screws fastening together parts, now you are seeing just rivets or pins holding it together. There's very few just basic screws for mechanical fastening on these toys, which is not going to make any customizers happy, for one thing.
No, that sounds bad.
Well, yeah, because then also if you've got like a loose joint or something, you've got a lot less option to work on that to tighten it back up. Yeah, buy a new one and swap out the old one.
Yeah, well, I'm just
or
saying,
the exact
Hasbro's
same thing. Don't swap a Hound for a Cliffjumper. That's just the dickish thing.
I think we've all suffered from misfired rivets in our toys before.
Yes.
Thankfully, I have not encountered a misfired rivet in any of what I have so far. So that's good for me at least. Let's see. So I predicted quite a while back when we were talking about color mismatch that the hood and roof parts were just giant chunks of clear plastic that were painted over in green. That was correct. I'm not sure how it's going to show up on camera, but like you can probably see under the hood here, like it's all just clear plastic there, and it's the same thing for the windshield and roof part. They're just big solid pieces each.
How is the color match between the painted parts and the cast parts?
You can still tell, but I don't think it's as bad as the photos made it look. So like it's definitely not perfect, but the paint versus plastic thing is the biggest culprit of that. As I am just sitting here failing to get the hood to tab back down. I'll worry about that later. The vehicle mode does compact down a lot compared to this. Like, for what the vehicle mode size is, you wouldn't expect it to turn into this big of a robot. It's actually a shame that it's not sold in vehicle mode, because I can just imagine getting that and that first time unfolding it into a robot and it just, expands dramatically. It would be a really magical moment. But as it is, it's pretty impressive how tight it squishes down to become the tow truck. Now, one problem I've run into, I can't get mine to sit level in truck mode, but I've seen other people have like the identical issue, so I don't think it's anything I'm doing wrong necessarily. It might be a production error or something like that, but like one or two wheels will always sit off compared to the other ones, and there doesn't seem to be anything to adjust to compensate for that. Maybe later runs that won't be a problem, or with Trailbreaker. But I've seen independent, I guess they'd all be independent, but like just a random sampling of other people with this toy and it's doing the same thing. So it seems like it might be at least partly endemic. Sadly, Hoist cannot tow other cars out of the box, but it would certainly be possible to design an adapter to make it do that, because I'm pretty sure almost all of the Autobot cars have one or more ports underneath in the front half of the car body, because that's where the feet end up, and everything's designed now for like weaponizer boots to plug on and things like that. So you could make some kind of an adapter to fit between the tow hook and one of those cars, possibly using the Micromaster base ramps as a medium. Because what the tow thing is designed to do is connect to one of those ramp pieces. It's got the connectors on here. Let's see. Try to get that. Yeah, that's totally not working. I probably should have prepared for that talking point more by having that unhinged. But it's designed to connect with the Micromaster base ramp. It's not designed to peg onto another deluxe toy or anything like that. But there's peg holes underneath, or you could use those ramp connectors to make another little plate that has pegs on it so that you could attach a car to it. Like, that's totally something that could probably be shape-waised if one of the, non-F or one of the Chinese aftermarket accessory makers didn't want to take a project like that on. Unfortunately, I would have to say Hoist is the weakest of the deluxes, but even so,
it looks so great.
It's still good. It's still good enough that I'm looking forward to Trailbreaker coming out using the same body and engineering. These arms especially really kill it for me, but like, the vehicle mode irregularity and honestly the hollowness a little bit kind of kills it for me. Now, it's the weakest of the deluxes, but it's still a pretty high bar that we're holding so far. Now, Ironworks I left in alternate mode just because, like, I think that's more indicative of what it's about. To me, it seems like while the robot's okay, it feels like a secondary thing where the weaponizers in Siege always seem to value the robot mode first, and then either alternately the weapons it could break down into or the vehicle mode. Like, for Brunt, it was definitely robot vehicle, then accessory parts, whereas Six Gun, I would say, was robot vehicle, or no, robot accessories vehicle. But this definitely seems to be robot second, base mode first. And then it can also plug on as accessories if you want to. The transformation process was interesting because, like, unlike the weaponizers where there is a distinct thing that it's going to turn into, you've got a lot more abstract parts with one of these. And while the instructions only officially designate one alternate mode, which is what I've got in right now, obviously you can rearrange these parts and get different kind of configurations, pretty much limited just by your imagination and how many copies of a toy you're willing to own. As we get more of these modulators, and people are amassing bigger collections of them, like, there's definitely going to be some pretty cool large structures that get formed out of these things. Each one is going to probably be a really interesting building block to a big base environment. And for as much improvement as there was in the weaponizers between COG and Six Gun, I'm really excited to see what the second modulator is going to look like, which hopefully we will get at Toy Fair a week from Saturday. Okay, so moving on to the Voyagers. I've got Starscream here, and I've left Starscream in vehicle mode because I wanted to show just like how big this jet mode is in hand.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really impressive. It looks really nice. It's got a great silhouette too. Like, it's the best of what the Classics toy was in the vehicle mode, where, really solid jet mode. Of course, you've got the other side where it's all the robot pieces hiding, but it's, even the Classics toy was not super bad about having the undercarriage stuff. Like, it still looked like it could be jet parts. It wasn't super obvious that it was a robot's body slung under there. Not like, say, Universe Silverbolt, for instance.
Or any Silverbolt.
Yeah, but that Universe one was especially bad. I mean, come on. Transforming it to get into jet mode is an experience a lot like Wheeljack, which is what I was alluding to before. It's the same kind of thing where you've got to have some parts really precisely lined up to get everything to lock together. In this case, you have to have Starscream's legs in a really exacting position about 3 steps in advance, or you're not going to be able to get the back end of the jet to plug in correctly to the rest of the body. I actually ended up stressing the slots. So the back end of the jet tabs into the rest of the body, and I stressed the slots that it holds into because I did not have it aligned right, and I couldn't get the gap in the seams to close up. So I had to actually back up several steps and do the legs over like 3 or 4 times before I actually got it right. I think now, knowing what I'm looking for, I could get it on the first try every time. But like that initial attempt, it was really difficult, and it's not something the instructions could really depict adequately because, it's slight variances in angle, and since the instructions are all off CAD models, of course it's perfectly angled in their version. The arms also were kind of tricky to get where they're going. They fold up and fit inside the body cavity. Now, that's less a matter of having stuff lined up perfectly, and it's more just a matter of there's a particular and unexpected way that all the parts have to come together to fit that space. But that's something that absolutely can be just figured out looking at how all the things work. For a little bit, I was having trouble collapsing the arms and closing the torso piece up to close the jet. I was kind of having flashbacks to Nitro Zeus when I was first messing with that, where I spent 45 minutes trying to transform that toy, only to realize, oh, this one little piece is 180 degrees reversed from where it should be. It would be nice if the instructions could have depicted that, but no, this is just... like I said, it's an unexpected way that the arms collapse together to fit in the body cavity, but once you see how it works, it makes perfect sense, and you'll remember from that point on, and it's not so much a matter of, like, this looks like I'm doing this exactly right, why isn't it working? No, you can tell that something's gone wrong part of the way, but unlike the legs, you can kind of see as you're at that point what you need to change. But that and Wheeljack having those like really precise tolerances, it does make me wonder if there is somebody else taking lead on the Takatomi side with the engineering of these transformations for Earthrise, because it is a really different experience than what we've had for the last few years. Let's see. I do like the robot mode, but I have some small complaints. The pelvis is a single hinged panel that has to move fully out of the way for the legs to swing forward. Also in jet mode, that is where the flight stand port is on the back side of that. So if you want to have this on a stand, it fits really well, but you have to have this panel flipped down. So that does kind of spoil the silhouette a little bit. But thankfully, it's a really snug connection to like a Tamashii Stage's 3mm peg. So putting this on a flight stand shouldn't be any problem, and it looks really good set up that way. But in robot mode, having that panel flipped up to have just one of the legs forward a little bit is kind of an ugly result, and I really wish it had been done differently. There's also unavoidable gaps in the chest. I don't know if the video quality is going to be good enough, but can you see right there? There's that little space.
I've seen those in preview pictures, and I was hoping that was just a mistransformation.
Unfortunately not. It is not possible for that gap to be closed. The pieces are not designed to fit together any tighter than that. So that disappointed me, not as much as the pelvis thing, because it's a little bit more of a subtle issue. But yeah, for wanting this to be like the perfect classic Starscream, it's not, but it's still really good, those little nitpicks aside. A wrist swivel might be nice in it, but the articulation is overall quite good. If you like the old jet engine style boot heels, those aren't represented here, so you might be disappointed with that. I was kind of disappointed that it didn't have those, because I really like it in the classics version. And that's also accurate to how it looked in the cartoon, but it's got like the squared off jet nozzles here, and then this splits out into a normal like separate toe and heel arrangement, which makes the stance more stable. It just looks less accurate and kind of loses something of the, I think it's an iconic part of the F-15 Transformer body design, but that might just be me. But like overall, I think they really nailed the look pretty well, mixing between what the classics toy looked like and the media interpretations of Starscream. It is not the perfect classic Starscream, sadly, but it is really good, and I'm happy with my purchase at the Voyager price point for it. Let's see. Grapple. Grapple is a very distinct contrast to Starscream. It's blocky, it's simple, it's safe. It's not trying to do anything special except to be a blocky robot, and it succeeds at that perfectly well. Articulation is good. They even use some of their extra time for not engineering it to put extra details like in the outward shoulder joint, like shrouding detail there, scorpion tail crane thing. Just repaint this in purple and green as Scorponok then. Man, that'd be a great April Fool's joke. But yeah, the robot mode is really solid and good, but it also just like stays within the box really strongly. It's not trying to do anything that it does not have to. And the transformation is also super simple. On which note, there have been reports of breakage for these two pegs, which are what connects the crane base to the underside of the feet in truck mode. Now, when I got this out of the box, those pegs would not even go into those peg holes. Like the fit was so snug, it felt dangerous to just even push them in for the first time. So I spent 15 minutes and filed the pegs down, and now they're a lot smoother and safer feeling. So it's probably worth preemptively making that small modification just to alleviate the chance of breakage and to make the toy feel a little bit more comfortable to handle.
I just think you should try and shove it in there.
Oh, it's too late now. I already filed them down. One thing I do like about this, though, it's got the flip around hands with 5mm ports on the backside. So, like, he's got the little cannon thing attached now, but you can just flip the hand around and he's got two hands then. And since it's a 5mm port, if you've got a wide array of accessories, like, you can just stick all kinds of things in here. It's really got potential. You can give him a big Minotaur hammer. What else do I have? Okay, bad example. I don't really have a lot of stuff hanging around right now. You can plug a car roof into his hand. That's great, right? It's one of those things that if you've got some imagination and some spare parts, you can really kind of go to town with that option, and it's one of those really little things that kind of just I get a kick out of. Finally, I have Optimus Prime, which I really like this Optimus Prime.
I'm jealous.
I have found that the red is oddly kind of desaturated looking. Like, I think it's even more muted than Studio Series 38 Optimus, which I already thought was a little bit dull, color-wise, that is. So I'm not sure why that is. I typically associate Optimus Prime being a more bright, saturated red. Maybe I'm just wrong. Now, in person, the hip joints do seem high, like they do in photos, because, they got the pelvis jointed here so that there's not, like, a skirt panel or something, but really the hip should be jointed from about here for it to look correctly proportioned when the legs are actually being moved. So I could have done with that being engineered a little bit differently. It's not terrible, though. He just looks a little bit leggy. I really do miss the yellow eyes, though. Like, as it is, it's hard to even tell the eyes are there. Now, the transformation on this is pretty novel. It still works within, like, a basic Optimus Prime framework where, you bend the arms and they fold into the sides. But what really makes this interesting, let me see if I can pull this apart here real quick. Well, probably not real quick, but I can probably pull it apart. What really makes this interesting is that the entire front of the truck folds up into just where the chest is. So you just, like, take this out and open the panels, and you've got the whole front of the truck basically right there contained within just the upper half of the robot's torso. It's not something I've seen done before to make an Optimus Prime. Certainly not a G1 Optimus Prime, and it feels really interesting when you're transforming it, going in either direction to collapse or expand the front of the truck just into that little space like that. That's probably the most novel thing that this does, which for better or worse. But it's a little less panely than Studio Series 38 Optimus, and everything tabs together pretty well, and the truck is structurally pretty solid. I had a couple times where it was going to pitch a little bit to one side or the other, where the tabs just weren't quite lining up and engaging. But, running back a couple steps, realigning things, I eventually got it to where it would tab down, and now I'm not having any problems with it. So this could be considered a third instance of what we saw in Wheeljack and Starscream, where there's just a little bit more precise tolerances in how these transformations are engineered. The trailer is definitely a trailer. It's a box.
That looks about the size of G1 Optimus's trailer. Is it roughly the same size?
You know what? I've never owned a G1 Optimus with a trailer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I couldn't tell you. It's the stupidest thing. It's just one of those things I've never gotten around to. Like, when Toys R Us had the commemorative series reissues, and Optimus and Ultra Magnus were both $40. Like, I never got around to buying Ultra Magnus either, but I always figured, like, yeah, if I do this, I'm going to buy Ultra Magnus because that trailer, like, it feels like it does more with the toy. But in the end, I never got either one, and then when the Walmart reissue came around, of course, that didn't have a trailer. And I wouldn't have paid the $85 or $90 it would have cost coming with a trailer either. But yeah, I would definitely say, like, some repro labels and maybe some aftermarket accessory add-ons for the inside of the trailer would help this a lot, because it is kind of bland and bare bones in there. The repair drone, I think especially, could use some repro labels or maybe just some paint, since it all is just very shades of gray.
Yeah, it could definitely use some blue.
Yeah. Or even just like a little bit of black for what would be the canopy on the G1 toy. Just something to give it a little bit more contrast and definition to the different parts. Because there's also a ton of sculpted detail on the inside of this. Just a paint wash even would bring some of that out. Like a very, very thin, light paint wash, not, the heavy, covered in grunge and oil kind of thing like we typically see with, customizer paint washes. But, like, yeah, if you know what you're doing, you could definitely tease more of the detail out of this and make it look a lot better. But as it's pretty bland. Even though the trailer does very little on its own, there's so much like volume and plastic to this. It does still feel like this and the Optimus are a better leader value to me than, say, Astro Train. Even Astro Train might have had the same massive plastic in the extra parts, but this is the trailer for the robot, and you can if you add stuff to this, get a battle station thing going out of this. So it feels like it does more interacting with the main part of the toy. Also, a fun little thing, the Matrix, which I just dropped onto the desk. The Matrix, the back side of it, has a 5mm port, so you can totally do stupid things like putting blast effects into the Matrix.
Huh. That's pretty cool, actually.
Oh, and then of course there's Primus Rifle, which is I actually like this interpretation of the rifle. It hinges in the middle for storage, but it's thick and chunky. It's not overly long. It looks just like a nice hand cannon, basically. It looks exactly like what Optimus Prime's rifle should, for the reputation it's gotten in various fiction over the years. It's all cast in light gray, like the handle on this peg, and then I guess basically paint dipped into the gunmetal gray. One pleasant side effect of that is, it's not going to probably show up on the video, but the inside of the barrel is detailed like a lot of these guns with deep barrel wells will tend to be, but it's gray on the inside, so you can actually see the sculpted detail in there better because it's light and it shows up better. So, like, I'm sure that's an unintended consequence of how this was decorated, but it's a very happy accident, I think. And Optimus Prime holds the gun just fine with the articulated hands. Actually, like, you can have him hold it with the fingers open. All the tension is on the thumb and the back of the hand. So the hold of any accessories is perfectly secure. It's not like Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus with the articulated hands that couldn't hold anything. Really that couldn't hold anything well. The accessories it came with were kind of designed to work around that, but it was still pretty bad. This is a lot more like, if you think way back to 2010 to Generation Straxus, the way those articulated hands work, it's basically in the same spirit of that. And those are my favorite Transformer articulated hands I can remember. So yeah, this was a very expensive week worth of buying things. I have like 95% of the first wave of Earthrise now, and I am very happy with all of it.
I really like Ironworks. I think Ironworks is great. That's what I was able to find. I ended up buying 2 of them, and I don't regret it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't buy an extra Ironworks for full price, but I do assume we will see some discounts on that through Amazon or whatever in the fullness of time, and I probably will get at least one more just to be able to expand out a base.
Actually, speaking of that, tfradio.net/Amazon, you can buy
buy your Earthrise stuff.
stuff.
Most of it's all still on pre-order for March 31st, I think.
Yeah, but
they do have the Micromasters in stock, though.
Yeah, they have Micromasters. They have all sorts of stuff. Candy. You want to get some late Valentine's candy, I'm sure you can get it there. Don loves candy. tfradio.net/Cadbury. You can buy some Cadbury eggs. Send them to
anyway,
Don.
I should have something interesting more to talk about next week, too, hopefully.
Yeah. Cadbury eggs. Clearance Valentine's candy. Your Easter
candy. Yeah, it's a little early for
yet.
clearance Easter.
Yeah, should be, damn it. tfradio.net/Amazon. Wanted to get that plug in because we're skipping what's on T-Formers this week, and we got the news to talk about. Don, unmute. So, your prediction for 2020 was RC Masterpiece 50. RC is, in fact, MP50.
Don basically has gotten his Lifetime Achievement Award.
I think so. But, Don, so there's a lot of hubbub around that toy.
Yes,
I think it looks
there
okay.
is.
What do you think about Masterpiece RC?
Well, I think Masterpiece RC does look good. I don't know how much of we're looking at is, mistransformation, because the chest does sit kind of low.
I don't care.
I'm not. I'm just pointing out some of the obvious things. The car mode is immaculate. I think the car mode, they really, for a non-typical car mode, versus what we've gotten in the past, I think they've really nailed the car mode. I think the robot mode looks great. The thing of it is that RC doesn't have a lot of on-the-nose accessory pieces. She's got her pistols. She's got the key to the plasma energy chamber. Maybe swords. That's not a very G1 thing, but it's kind of been a typical RC thing since animated.
Swords.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of things they could use. I mentioned this on Twitter. Is that like with Hound's got a whole lot of accessories, but the canvas top he used in one episode of Atlantis, or Rise of Atlantis, he used it one time in that one episode, and they included his accessory. It's like they're trying to find things to fill out the accessory count to justify the price.
RC has one accessory that they really should include.
Yes,
to make you happy.
Yes. The thing of it is, though, I don't know if they're going to include a Headmaster Daniel with this,
MP50
because I'm not sure if they can make a figure small enough.
They can.
That would fit this current design.
They can.
With RC and robot mode.
They absolutely can.
Yeah, but like you said, I'm just wondering if that's going to be the MP50 Plus. And
51 plus. 51
sorry, 51 plus. I mean, again, she also doesn't have a lot of repaints. You've got Paradron Medic.
Actually, there's a lot of repaints of her that you can do.
Well, I mean, excuse me for a second. What are you doing? Stop that.
Massey's going to attack during the RC Masterpiece conversation.
No, you can't tear that up.
Yeah, I mean, Paradron Medic seems like a given.
Yeah, but and unless IDW RC, which I know is not the same design, I know that. Unless her coloring is different, and I don't think you could get any more animation accurate than what we're seeing right here.
John is suggesting Masterpiece Nightbird. Now, the best version of Nightbird was a retool of RC.
Yes, and I was talking to this with some other people earlier this week. Paradron Medic and Nightbird seem like the two most things that they could do with this mold. I do hope they do Headmaster.
Wait, Don, who are you telling? Don, who are you telling this to?
I was on TFYLP on Monday.
Wait! You shared your thoughts on Masterpiece RC with some other podcast first.
Well, they needed a fourth, and I was free that night.
Don, I am so disappointed. I'm not even joking.
This is grounds for termination.
I am genuinely upset about this.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting. I honestly was not expecting to be on the show, but they needed a fourth, and I just happened to be free. I'm sorry.
Don, I don't think we'll need a fourth next week. So if you want to, Don.
Yes.
No, Don, I don't like it. Nope.
I'm sorry. It just popped up first. I wasn't expecting it.
I know what RC needs. She needs a push-up bra. This is Masterpiece.
Okay. I changed my mind. RC. We'll keep Don and we'll terminate Diecast.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
This is Masterpiece 90 RC.
Yeah, God.
Oh,
maybe
that's
not.
So
maybe
bad.
I've never actually listened to that podcast. Was Diecast be a better fit? Is that the kind of jokes they make?
No one makes jokes that bad.
Okay.
That one piece, if it is mistransformed, I mean, there's a lot of evidence floating around that it's not mistransformed.
Yeah, I actually don't think it is.
Yeah, there's no way
it is.
No.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's just not good.
My idea of other Transformers podcasts are like 4 diecasts making that joke to each other for like an hour and a half. That's kind of how I think other Transformers podcasts sound.
Now, it's possible maybe the head and the neck are pulled up too far, or they can be lowered some. Maybe the chest can be adjusted a little bit to a degree. I don't know. I'm not the toy detective that Chris and Rob are.
God,
So,
I'm hoping.
I can't.
Damn it, Tom.
I'm hoping they're going to modify it because there's things off like that
They're
really
not.
bother me. The vehicle mode, I absolutely agree with Don. It's the best RC vehicle mode we've seen from anyone. The face is a little bit too pointy at the chin, and the eyes look a little bit too big. And looking at the head, the way there's a split in the head, I'm pretty sure she's going to have pink visors. I mean, we haven't seen photos of that, but I can't imagine them not
Hot
putting
Rod
that in.
did, and that's such a simple thing to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and so I mean, there's just, like I said, she does not have that many accessories she can come with. So I'm not sure what else they can add to, because it seems like they're making a price that they can make a profit at.
Oh yeah, we should mention that. So RC is currently set at 14,000 yen,
which is about 135 US, I believe, is what they were saying.
About $40 more than some of the other toys at the same.
That's about what Hound cost.
Yeah, but
Hound was more than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, we need to see what she comes with as accessories to see. Like I said, it's like they're picking a price and then making accessories to justify the price. At least that's the way that I'm seeing it. So if she's going to be same price as Hound, we need to see the accessories she comes with. Otherwise, what you're getting is not going to be the value that Hound was, just looking at what you get for the same dollar.
Hey,
amount.
Don, which podcast you say you were on again?
I was on TFYLP on Monday.
Oh, I thought you said something
it was a pre-record.
Okay. Do I need to write Duron like a politely worded letter?
Yeah, take 10 minutes.
Yeah, Duron he is no longer on the show. He has moved on to other things.
Oh, who do I need to write a politely worded letter to?
Don.
Don's
the new owner of TFYLP.
Oh,
no, it's just like it was just they needed a fourth, and I was available.
So what we've seen so far is RC has the pistol, the car mode spike thing from the movie that she was on Junk.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to come with a stand.
Yeah. So, again, I want to see the accessories. I want to see everything. If there is no headmaster, I assume there'll be a Daniel. Again, if there is no headmaster,
yeah,
a driver. Yeah, I can see that. But I'm definitely getting her. Obviously, this is a great looking car mode, a good looking robot mode. I'm just looking forward to getting it. Surprisingly, I'm also looking just as much forward to get MP50 that was also announced.
Which was also
no, that's all right. I didn't have anything to say. You can just move on. I'm just sitting here quietly waiting for my turn for nothing, I guess. No.
I mean, no. You go ahead, man. I'm just giving a little bit of mystery to everything.
Yeah. So let me tell you.
Are you sure? May I speak?
Yes, you may speak. Yes, please, okay. please speak and say words.
Okay, so I have some misgivings about MP RC. Basically, she has very, very, very tiny feet and a fairly sizable backpack, which just like making that thing stand on its own is probably going to be kind of a nightmare. And again, with RC, we're kind of seeing that weird over-sexualization thing where they've rounded off her midsection and thighs, which is not animation accurate, which is supposedly what, Takara is supposed to be focusing in on. And, I just wish we could move past that.
And that also seems to be at the root of why the chest looks wrong, because basically...
They've added some ever so slight roundness to the...
Well, yeah, so, everything I think is actually in the correct place relative to the character model. The problem is, in the animation model, the transition from the shoulders to the breastplate is one smooth slope, but on this, it goes basically straight down from the shoulders and then out. So, they're accentuating the shape of the breastplate without actually changing the overall shape any more than they can help. It's the exact same thing that happened with the Generations toy. And in a lot of ways, this looks like the Generations toy made bigger. Which is not necessarily a good thing.
And also, one more thing that really has me worried. Brickinator on Twitter actually pointed this out. Just think of the third-party upgrade options for this.
Oh, I've been trying not to.
Yeah.
But I think you've made a good point about the small feet, because the product flyer Takara Tomy was handing out at Wonderfest, we saw a picture of the RC from that, and in that stock photo in that, RC is attached to a stand in robot mode.
Which, quite frankly, kind of, with the proportions of this thing, might be necessary.
Yeah, that's why I definitely think that's going to be one of the things included with it. And, besides that, there may not be a lot of accessories, but I think the price that this is at, which honestly is on the low end for Masterpiece these days, sadly enough, but most of that is going to be just the engineering that needed to transform that very nice RC car mode into the robot that we're seeing. Because that's almost Beast Wars level magic.
Yeah. Hey, actually, let's go ahead and talk about the other Masterpiece. MP50, not RC. Tigatron. Looks so good.
It does.
Yeah, so Wonderfest, we kind of went into with some expectations of what would be revealed, and all the things we expected to be revealed weren't, and instead we got these things that we never expected to have be revealed.
It's so good.
Okay, I don't need a turn to talk about this one because I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Matt, I mean, I know you don't like Beast Wars.
Yeah, let's actually just talk about it. Don, if you're not going to talk about the toy, let's move on. Let's talk about the toy.
I am.
Okay. Talk.
Oh, okay. Okay. I love it. I love Tigertron is probably my favorite Beast Wars character. I think he looks great. I'm not surprised that he's coming out before RC because they've already had the transformation skeleton down pat from Cheetor as far as figuring out how it's going to transform. Yeah, there's some bulk differences and everything else, but
did they literally just scale it up?
For the most part, yeah, it probably is. Taking this CAD model and saying 20% bigger. But there are some engineering changes. Like Cheetor has a fake cat head on the robot chest. Tigatron seems to use the actual beast mode tiger head on the robot chest.
So amazing.
And there's also some more moving parts, some level of complexity more in the front cheetah legs, which you can see on the back in the robot mode there. There's more joints visible on the display sample there. So something different is going on that way. But like the fundamental skeleton underlying it all is going to be the same thing as Cheetor, and because of CAD models and computerized milling for the toolings, they can basically just upscale it and have it work.
Yeah. And I love that. It looks like they looked at the Telemoka version to give that more of that metallic green. They sort of like use the Telemoka coloring on that one, which I think looks really good.
I love this toy so much.
Yeah, I'm glad now I skipped Dinobot and Megatron just from a cost standpoint.
No, you need them to go with this.
Well, it's just with the cost of them. I think if I'm going to be dipping back into Beast Wars masterpieces, it's going to be for characters I want, like Tigatron and hopefully a Silverbolt at some point. But
you're almost certainly not getting a masterpiece Silverbolt done.
Hey. It took me 30 years to get Masterpiece RC, so I mean...
Okay, we will come back in 30 years and see if you got your wish a second time, but...
we don't have to come back. We'll still be doing the show by then.
So, no, Don. So what did you tell your other podcast about this? Don in our internal chat is like, I'm sorry, Brian, if you're really upset. I'm not, Don. I'm joking.
I know.
I'm working a bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking about some other things he could come with. One way out of the box thing is that in the box. There will be a PVC, like a snowstalker, the tigress that he inadvertently killed in one of his early episodes.
Okay,
when he blew up the mountain.
If I'm understanding correctly, you're suggesting that as an accessory, Masterpiece Tigatron come with a solid, unposable plastic tiger that's exactly as big as Tigatron is.
I don't know. I said it was kind of out of the box thinking, but or it could be a model kit. They do wonderful things with model kits now, so it could be like what you and Matt collect, the Super Sentai model kits. I saw on
Twitter on Sunday morning suggest that instead of that, Tigatron could come with a pile of rocks to be the grave for Snowstalker after she's killed.
Oh my god!
And that seems more plausible than including a PVC or model kit of Snowstalker that would be just as big as Tigatron.
See, I can't even call Don's guesses implausible anymore, because a couple of weeks ago, whenever we did our prediction show and Don called out Masterpiece RC, we all wanted to shoot him down.
I know. Don nailed it.
Don, did you have inside information on that?
If I had inside information,
Don's just a broken clock.
No, it's not that.
No, it's just I'm just saying if the numbering means anything to Takara anymore,
which
outside of
doesn't.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that was my original thought. But I mean, again, this does sort of fall into my theory of that they're using models that they've either got engineering already, because they've already done Cheetor and they've done Shadow Panther, so they've already gotten two basic uses of the mold. And there wasn't that much remolding on Shadow Panther. There was a few extra accessories, but that was it. So having a Tigatron come out is more money with less production costs, having already recouped a lot of it probably from the first two. And so basically Tigatron is paying for RC because there's not as many repaint potentials or reuses of that mold. Because I can't see them doing many other female Autobots that look like RC, but like Firestar and the rest of the ones, the other female Autobots, I can't see them using this RC for her. They're too far off model in a line that's very G1 accurate.
Yeah. So yes, I agree that they would not use RC to make Firestar out of directly. They would not recolor RC as Firestar.
Yeah.
Right.
As a lot of people, were pointing out, like, we thought we'd get more, the season 1 cast before we got someone from season 3. I mean, because you're still missing Trailbreaker, Hoist, you're still missing Jazz, you're still missing Cliffjumper, which we thought we were going to get off that Bumblebee move.
Those are all ones they would have to license. An RC is not one that they have to license.
And need to license from Dawn.
Yeah. Plus,
no, only if she's a headmaster.
Yeah. Plus, also the fact that the last movie masterpiece we got was Hot Rod, and there are a lot of people that have these movie masterpiece shelves that they want to complete. So doing another figure,
because really, if you to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's still.
Yeah,
I mean,
like even the Wonderfest display, they had to put in Generations molds to fill out their core movie cast because there's only masterpieces for a few of them.
Right. So it's like I don't see them tackling Springer anytime soon. Unless,
which is a shame.
But I mean, look at how much he would probably be Dinobot or Megatron price. Easily being a triple changer.
Blow up the Siege Springer and make it out of a little more sturdy materials, and I'd be happy.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see them doing more movie characters because other than Cup and Blur, the rest of the movie characters are kind of going to be either be Decepticons, which bad guys don't sell in Japan.
Oh, you've always got Wreck-Gar.
And one there's Wreck-Gar. So, but I'm
really everybody's clamoring for that.
I was really hoping that would be MP50.
Masterpiece Sharkticons.
So I'm super.
Yeah. I would.
So I am really ecstatic for RC. I'm equally ecstatic for Tigertron.
Are you ecstatic for Tigertron knowing that it's over 20,000 yen?
Since I didn't get Megatron and Dinobot, I think I can justify Tigertron because I'm not going all in on the Beast Wars line. I'm just cherry picking the ones I want. And Tigertron is worth the money. I really am forward to getting him on the shelf.
So, something else that we've been wanting that's coming out slowly, but it wasn't coming out at all before. Transformers the manga in trade paperback form. Volume 3 has been announced and it's due out in October.
Volume 1 comes out next month.
Yep. I'm excited. God, I am excited about this. I don't think I have been this excited about something like this. It's been years. Because this is stuff I've wanted to read for years.
I pre-ordered it right before the show as soon as I saw the news.
Yeah. I pre-ordered it, I think, as soon as this 3 went up. I pre-ordered it 2 days ago, yeah. This is like Christmas for me. I'm super stoked. I hope they run through everything. But yeah, so...
Well, they're certainly making a good step at it. The third volume's already announced, so they'll probably run through everything that's available.
And this is still Super Robot form...
this is Victory Zone.
This is Victory Zone. Oh, well, okay, so they're...
And Battlestars.
Is there anything left? Operation Combination? Is there... Is that it?
I don't know. Check the wiki.
I don't know of anything after Battlestars, specifically.
Well, and a lot of that late run stuff, too, like, it comes down to story pages. Like, I think all of Return of Convoy is in magazine story pages, not an actual manga, and hopefully that material is collected and translated because, again, that's like the story of Return of Convoy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
If I don't get Operation Combination, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Yeah. Sweet. That's awesome. Let's see here. Okay, so one thing, Chris, in your monologue, this is not a monologue, but in your conversation at Earthrise...
my lecture?
In your Earthrise lecture, did you talk about the maps?
No, I didn't, but they're there.
So
they all come... Well, like, everything deluxe and up comes with one of these little decoder strip things. I have multiples of them now. So on the inside trays for the deluxes, Voyagers, and Leaders, there's chunks of a space map. On the Micromasters, it is just printed on the card back. So if you want to preserve that, be careful how you take the bubble off so you don't like tear across that. every toy comes with a unique piece of map, which unfortunately means that you would need to rebuy Astrotrain if you got the Siege one and you want to have like physically a complete space map when this is all over with.
I'm just glad the wiki exists for things like this.
Well, yeah, that'll help too.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Yeah,
I love that it exists.
I throw my packaging away these days.
The other thing too is like I cannot imagine there will not be released somehow at some point a complete Earthrise space map, like officially, where you won't need to have all the little pieces from the packaging. There will just be like a nice poster-sized one that Hasbro gives out somehow.
That could be included with Scorponok when he comes out. He will be out later on this year.
I could see that
like,
actually.
So
like the back and the instructions are the space map.
So real quick, just want to jump back to the last story. I was looking at the chat, and Blade Raider said that this is marketed as the final volume.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah.
So hopefully that does get Operation Combination and everything in there.
It says victory through zone all the way to the endpoint of Japanese G1 battle stars. So I guess that was...
Okay.
Yeah. So... Okay, sorry. But yeah, so Chris, did any of the toys you buy, I guess some of them had the decoder slip with them, or...
Okay. Now, who can help Brian out here and repeat what the first thing I said was when Brian asked me about my Earthrise lecture?
Oh. I don't remember. I wasn't taking notes.
Yes, no, I have several of these red decoder strips because every Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader comes with one.
Did Ironworks come with one? He doesn't...
Should have done.
I bought two, and I don't remember seeing them.
Well, they're taped to the inside of the tray.
Well,
Near
poop.
bottom.
I'm gonna have to
It's
dig through
fine.
the trash.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got at least 7 of them. So it's not like you'll be wanting for a decoder strip by the time this is over.
Okay. That's good.
You can read the red text on the map pieces even without it. It just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's just like the tech specs.
Yeah.
Okay. I need more caffeine.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just need to stop answering your questions when you're obviously like looking at the chat or writing a letter to TFYLP or something.
Yeah, well, I thought Don said it was another podcast. I'm good. I'm good with those guys.
When you're like off getting in contact with your lawyers to send TFYLP a cease and desist.
No. But Duron was the one that
I guess you could send Don a cease and desist.
Yeah, it would be Don. Duron was the one who reached out and said, "Hey, do you mind if Don's on the podcast? If he's gone, that's null and void. That doesn't count anymore." So
the contract does not survive death.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to whoever is, piloting that ship now. And
I'm telling you, it's Don, and he just doesn't want to say it. He's the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm running TFYLP from my setup. Yeah.
Don, I ran this from my setup, which in the 1990s, which is actually more primitive than what you have.
Yes, his internet was reliant on the blade of grass.
Yep.
Yes, but you know what you're doing. I don't.
Don, all you have to do is delegate. Doesn't mean you have to,
Don,
right.
did you ever listen to early RFC? I really question whether Brian knew what he was doing.
No, that's what made it so fun. We had no idea what we were doing.
Massey is more qualified to run a podcast than I am.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Hey, patreon.com/tfradio. It'd be awesome if you helped out. It really would. But what's really awesome are our touched patrons: Kevin Dorsey, Sean Bratton, Jacob, Owen Lucia, Sean Hamilton, Jason W. Rye, Mike Mallory, Jason Hiley, Jonathan James, Matthew Dedman, Hector Bones, Brian Cooper, and Nathan. Nathan only gives his first name, so I'm assuming Nathan's last name, if he has one, is something cool like Nathan Esquire or Nathan Powers. Nathan Powers. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of derivative. We already know someone named Powers.
Yeah. Actually, Rob Powers does have pretty much the coolest name of anybody ever, other than Hector Bones. Hector Bones has the coolest name.
I mean, I always thought Kevin Au was kind of cool.
Yeah, but I like Megatron 33. I still think of him as Megatron 33 and not as... Yeah.
I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah, but our patrons are awesome. They make everything happen. Patreon.com/TFRadio, and you can also find those guys at the credits page, which I believe is tfradio.net/credits. If you want to be a patron, you can join. Again, patreon.com/TFRadio. You can find us on the Twitters at TFRadio, on Facebook at facebook.com/TFRadio. We're on Instagram at TF Podcast. We're on YouTube. We have Roku TV channel, Fire TV, Apple Podcast, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. Literally everywhere. We're even at Don's apartment when Don's not on TFYLP. Or some other podcast. Like sharing his RC love to the world for the first time with somebody else.
Even though he predicted it here.
He predicted it here.
Yeah.
And he's been...
Well, I mean, as far
fine.
as we know, he predicted it here. We don't actually know for sure that he didn't predict it on TFYLP like 3 days earlier.
Don, how do people find TFYLP?
Apparently, wherever I'm at, I guess. I don't know how that really works.
What is it?
Considering
TFTalk.net? Isn't that like the URL? If I remember.
Yeah, TFTalk.net.
I like that URL.
But Monday was the first time I was on in about 3.5-4 months, just due to scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, I like that domain. I always have. Yeah. Don, how do people get a hold of you? Besides TFYLP.
Running the joke into the ground. I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
Sweet.
Which now if she does come as a headmaster, I might have to change my handle because I have got the figure that I've been wanting for so long.
To TFYLP for EVR.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I will take a collection to send Matt a Beast Wars Tigatron. So, everyone just contact me and send me some money. I'll get him a Tigatron so we can have a nice Beast Wars figure on the shelf.
You just burned that like I burned Kronos.
Well, you don't like
Before
good
it ever
figures
came out of
either.
the package.
I have a very good Skyfire.
Actually, you've got at least 2
You got like
now.
7.
Yeah, I do. It's true.
John, how do people get a hold of you? If he's there, he's not there. At that John D everywhere. Yes. Chris.
Well, you can find my photography work at playwithphotography.com or on social media at instagram.com/playwithphotography or at playwithphotos on Twitter. I actually posted some photos on my social media for the first time in a little while because I was messing with the Earthrise stuff. So
Great.
you can go find a couple pictures of Starscream and a Cliffjumper. Those are out there right now. If you like the work I do and want to help me to be able to do more of it, you can contribute to Patreon for as little as $2 per month at patreon.com/playwithphotos. Contributions from my generous patrons help to make this big glut of Earthrise stuff possible this week. So thank you all very much for that. And I will be working on content based on that as soon as I can. You can follow me personally on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. I've got nothing really going on right now. I might revive the sales list again some point soon to help offset my tax debt because it's getting to be about that time, and every little bit extra going toward that helps for sure. Otherwise, though, I have my Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist if you'd like to do something nice for me and also give a little bit back to the show here to offset Brian's show-related tax debt.
Yes.
Because it's getting to be about that time, and every little bit helps.
I'm sure Don is using the TFYLP Amazon link, though. Yes. That's what Don's doing.
Yeah, he uses theirs first, and then, a couple days later, he remembers, oh, yeah, we have one of those, too.
Yeah. Diecast, how people get a hold of you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2, and you can also follow me on Facebook or like my page on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast.
Don just said, "I hate you all." We love you, Don.
That means it's been a good week.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. You can check us out, tfradio.net, and you can check out TFYLP at tftalk.net.
Also, where do we find Rob when he's, usually here?
I don't know. You Rob Flails on Twitter.
On Twitter at Rob Flails. And also, patreon.com/flailthroughs.
Flailthroughs, and he's on YouTube at Flailthroughs.
Where he plays Gundam Battle Operation, and if you give at least $2 to his Patreon, you can request customized mobile suits for him to do rounds with.
And he doesn't speak Japanese, but he plays games in Japanese.
Yeah, that's the whole gimmick, yeah.
Yeah. And Rob Springer.
Of course, now Gundam Battle Operation 2 is available, officially in English, so that doesn't even really apply anymore.
Yep. And you can find Rob Springer at zonebase.org and at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Don.
I have my masterpiece RC.
Which one is that?
This is the Fans Toys.
I think I actually like the way that one looks better than the official.
Yep.
I don't like the way the face looks on it.
I'm not that incredibly thrilled with the way the official one looks either.
Yeah, the eyes are way too big on the official.
I mean, it's all like a matter of balances.
And hers is a little bit more round.
My opinions on Masterpiece have changed in the past whenever I, get them in hand. But, I mean, this isn't the...
Hey, caller, you're on the air. What's your favorite part of TFYLP?
My favorite part of TFYLP is not watching it.
Oh, that's not nice. Hey, who are we talking
I
to?
haven't watched it in years. It's Sean.
Hey,
I
Sean.
want to be first.
But Don's on there.
He's never on there when I watch it. He's been on there in a while.
No, it's been about 4 months because of just scheduling issues.
Yeah. But you made time to talk about RC.
Yeah.
Don, I'm heartbroken.
There, instead of here.
Hey, Don, do you have a Fans Toys RC?
I do. She's part of the backlog I'm slowly working on. I got her about 1.5 years ago.
I'd like to see when you get Masterpiece RC what you think, which one you like better.
Well, I'll make it a point to, talk about when Masterpiece RC comes out.
Hey,
Sean. Maybe that could be referred to a Dawn of the Day.
So how does it sound on your end? So I have him on so we can test this for Toy Fair. I don't want to do the Toy Fair thing. Actually, I posted on our Patreon. Hey, we're gonna take calls and everything. I have a new setup. How do we sound?
On the phone, you sound great.
You sound good too. This sounds so much better than when we were doing this for It's a Don Deal. And now that Don's doing that for another podcast network, we can't do it anymore.
Okay. I want Diecast to ask a question for me from John Morgan.
Oh, what do you want him to ask? We need we need to start taking notes because that's coming up.
You know what? Maybe we can ask our patrons to submit questions they would like Diecast to ask, and we'll select a few of those.
There we go.
Okay. As a patron, Sean, what do you want to ask?
I want to know, are they going to release more Rat Bat Rumble 2-packs? Because I can't find them.
I've never come across those in the store, ever.
That's a good question.
I got mine off eBay, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I bought the only 2 I've seen.
$2 right now.
Yeah, that's a good question. Write that down, Diecast.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually worth asking because it's obviously something Hasbro is conscious of at this point because they're running Smashdown, who was also hard to find during Siege. Yeah. Smashdown is available now as Battle Masters Wave 1 and Earthrise. So this is something that is on their minds, and we might be able to bring the Rat Bat and Rumble thing to their attention and get something out of that. Maybe it may be months later, but it might still amount to something, or they might have that in plans already.
Is there the possibility of getting the Rat Bat and Rumble released in Earthrise packaging?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sean, say something.
There you go.
People need to hear you. I just turned your volume up.
Okay. I also want to tell you, I did buy a Castle Grayskull Mega Box off Amazon yesterday.
Sweet.
and I bought $30 of Skittles today, so you should be seeing both of those.
Awesome.
How much
much
was
is
the
Castle
Grayskull?
Grayskull?
$169.
Yeah, you missed the cheap time.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I paid for it.
I can wait.
But I don't know
It went down to 130.
I don't know if you guys saw my stuff on Twitter where my basement flooded, but Castle Grayskull got a little damp. The box, the inner cartons are fine, but the outer carton is destroyed.
That's all right. It's a castle. It's supposed to be musty. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was tempted to pull the trigger on that when it was on sale, and I was like, I'm not getting any more until I build my Technodrome.
But the thing is too, like,
have fun building that Technodrome. That's a chore.
And the thing is too, like, probably if you wait until the end of this year, Castle Grayskull will be cheap again, and maybe more cheaper than it was this time around, because like the Enterprise was at its all-time low price this past Christmas season. After starting out at $250 like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, that's been around for a while, and the prices on those big sets tend to fluctuate. They'll go down and come up, and then go down even further.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just picked up the Enterprise.
Sean.
Yes.
What constitutes $30 worth of Skittles? Like, for the $30 you spent, how much Skittles are you getting?
I guess you'd call it a retail box. Like
a store shipper box, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's a lot of Skittles.
Well, they're not for me.
Oh.
Are you sure?
Greasing the skids.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, Sean, thanks for calling.
Sure thing.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, so that worked really well, actually. God,
It could have been a little bit louder, but we can fiddle with levels.
It sounded so much better than that old setup that I was using before, and there was no feedback
and less latency.
Yeah, and it's all built right into the board. I don't have to use any external hardware or anything.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Dusty saying it's only 75% of the host volume.
It might have been a little bit less than that, actually.
Well, coming through the channel, he was kicking up just as high as everybody else. I don't know why, but yeah, it's fine.
By the time it's getting to us, though, he was noticeably more muted.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
But I could still hear what he was saying.
Yeah.
No, it's possible on your local recording he will be just as loud.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll fix that for the live stream. Maybe we'll bring back It's a Dawn deal if Dawn will allow it,
or if TLP will allow it. Or
yeah, we might have to ask their permission.
Bye, Diecast.
Good night, Diecast.
Guys, we're in pre-show or post-show, right?
We're post-show.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See you guys.
Seriously though, like I'm joking about the TFYLP thing. It's like I am disappointed that Dawn shared that somewhere else first, but like I have no problem with those guys. They're great.
Well, like I said, bro, I wasn't planning on being on, and they needed a fourth, so it's just
it's okay, Dawn.
And it was a topic, so
they that was a win for them, or it's coup's not the right word. What's the word?
Actually, I think that would be what you're looking for.
Is it coup? Okay, it was a coup for them because they get Dawn's first public reaction to RC.
Yeah. I know this whole episode now is pointless. Like we should just delete this whole episode.
Just delete the whole recording, Brian. We're done.
Computer, delete that entire personal log.
When I say
take a drink,
here you go.
I'm out.
You said it was a coup for them, but it can't be a coup because his voice actor passed away. So that's kind of sad.
I understood what he meant.
The wrestler Haku.
The voice actor Mako, who voiced Aku in Samurai Jack, and Splinter in I think 2003 Ninja Turtles, and Uncle Iroh in Avatar.
Yeah,
he was a well-known Japanese American voice actor. Which, if you heard his voice, you would know exactly who he was.
It was. Yeah.
He also guest starred on episode of Frasier.
Oh wow. I still have time to hit up 2 to 3 targets. I'm not going to.
Yeah. See, it's. I mean, I went today hoping there'd been something there, and it was just. I'm just so frustrated right now because they've reset right after the holidays. It's been almost 8 weeks since Christmas, give or take, and they've only done the Cyberverse end cap and the this little bit of Cyberverse stuff on the side counter. It's like finding this Earthrise stuff, and it's like there's nothing locally. It's just nowhere has anything.
So I went yesterday looking, and I'm honestly just kind of sick of walking down toy aisles because it's all the same stuff. Like nothing ever gets restocked. Nothing ever. Frighteningly enough, it looks like nothing ever sells to be restocked.
Yeah.
Now on the Mega Constructs front, I do have some good news to report. My local Walmart has sold through almost their entire case of the new Masters of the Universe minifigures.
Mine has
my Walmart.
That's it.
My Walmart sold through the first one, restocked it, and now all the Mossmans are gone.
Yeah, so all that's left here is 2 Prince Adams, a recolor Stratos, and a Mossman. Which, all things considered, that's a really good sell-through rate.
Yeah.
The Halo box they have didn't do nearly as well, and nobody's even trying to bother to maintain that either. The contents are just completely tossed, and the Call of Duty wave has basically been untouched since they put the case out. Of course, there was an older Call of Duty wave that they restocked with, so that's not helping.
Yeah.
But the Masters of the Universe Heroes assortment, that just went. I'm glad I grabbed the ones I did right away.
Yeah.
Because I was walking through the electronics department in my local Walmart, because they now have that little collectible section back in electronics.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe they had put something back there on the off chance it got misshelved or something.
Yeah, I did that today.
They did. Yeah, they did. But I did see the Mego Wrath of Khan and Kirk, which was kind of tempting to get. Yeah, there's a that company that bought the Mego is back on the shelves.
I've been buying. I've not been buying those because I've not seen one that I wanted. But there wasn't a con.
There's a con, and it's their movie series, and there's a Kirk with the Wrath of Khan outfit with the square phaser.
Oh my god!
And a con, and a con.
Well, you have your pros and you have your cons.
Cons.
Kirk.
Brian will sit around
the rings.
Oh my god.
The Antares Nebula and around Perdition's Flames.
It's the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch it again. Where's my Blu-ray?
It's the best of the Star Trek movies. 2 and 4 are the 2 best ones.
I don't know if I like this figure, but I'm going to have to own it. You said Walmart had it or Target?
Yeah, no, Walmart.
How much?
I want my if it was right, $12.96.
Oh, it can't be right.
If they were
you sure you can only hit 2 or 3 targets, Brian? I think you can get.
If it's Walmart, my Walmart's open 24. Every Walmart here is open 24 hours. I'm just going to go now after this is over.
Yeah, back. Yeah, there's a monster series with the mummy, a Frankenstein.
I don't care about that.
And the con. I know. I'm just saying. It looks like it's like their movie series. Like it's not just like a Star Trek.
Brian just wants the con because it tasks him, and he has it.
Yes. Oh God, I gotta have this figure.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for that one episode of Melvar.
Oh God, the Kirk looks good too.
Yeah, I was a little more tempted by the Kirk than I was the Con. Just because it's got that weird velour-looking outfit with the cross flap and the square phaser.
They used it just for that like somebody else. I'm trying to place who it is. I don't know. The face just. If this is the same figure. Wave 7, Mego, Admiral Kirk.
Can you put a picture up so I can see it? Yeah, that's it. Is there a picture on the card?
No, I don't see the card.
They're not.
Dang it, honey! Why are you showing me these stupid pop-ups? That's new.
Yeah, that should be it. That looks like it. Yeah, that's it. Wrath of Khan. That's it.
Yeah, who does that look like?
Like first, I mean, I don't know. Like my brain immediately, it doesn't, but my brain immediately went to Commander Decker. But it's somebody like no, it's somebody on the periphery like that is what I'm saying. It doesn't look like it.
Wait a minute, the Admiral from Deep Space Nine, maybe. The one that his actor he was on Deep Space Nine.
Barry Jenner.
And he was on Babylon 5. Yeah, Admiral Ross. That's who popped in my head.
Yes, but that's not no. Yes,
no.
I don't see it, but
no.
It doesn't remind me of anybody right offhand. But
like I feel like there's someone that it resembles, but I can't put a name to it.
God, I need this though. Sean's like, I want Don to walk around with his chest exposed. Well, if he's not on camera,
no, you don't. I'm a 49-year-old fat guy. You don't want to see any part of me naked.
That Khan actually does look really good.
Yeah. God, I hate this. He tasks
like I said, it may have been on the wrong peg hook. I don't know. I didn't check the price because my local Walmart, there are no more wall scanners. I can't find one that and
really?
The one the one that's up doesn't work. And when you go to the signs are still up. When you go to the sign, there's no scanner. I guess they want you to use the app, and I don't have the app on my phone to scan a price. I don't think my phone even has the scanner on it.
I don't want Walmart on my phone.
So Amazon doesn't have Admiral Kirk or Khan in stock, except from resellers. But like what I'm seeing, a lot of the other stuff is in the $12 to $13 range. So those tags probably were right.
Yeah, I mean at Walmart they're all showing at $12. Oh, that Gorn! I saw the Gorn at Target, and I want it.
Yeah,
I think I saw that at Target once also.
Yeah, oh my God, there's Elvis.
And there's a Gorn and a Romulan, just generic Romulan.
Oh, the Elvis looks horrible.
The Romulan is from the first one with Mark Leonard as the commander. Balance of Terror.
Elvis looks like a cross between Conway Twitty and Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
But
God, the likenesses on these are horrible.
I've seen a few that are pretty good though.
I mean, honestly, weird. Khan is not bad.
You know what's strange
Wrath of Khan
is
Spock.
Oh no, that one I have not seen.
Is he melting?
No, he's not.
Oh,
he's not adjusting his tunic either.
It's the way they have his hand in the package, like he's breaking his wrist to do the Vulcan.
Yes, somebody, friend posted on Facebook or something, like he's like 15 years younger than I am, or younger, maybe 20 years younger. He was a kid at the children's home, super smart kid. He has like the worst type of muscular dystrophy you can have. But he spends all his time on the internet because he can't move. So he just posts, but he's super smart. He posts the best stuff. And he posted this meme about like when kids his age were exposed to death for the first time. And it was like it was basically the meme for him was like the generation before was like the Lion King and his generation wasn't, I can't remember. But for me, of course, it was Wrath of Khan. And, you know, I Googled a pic of Spock and Kirk together in like outside the warp chamber, and like I seriously got choked up just looking at it. It's so horrible, but it's true.
Oh, Brian, I just saw this. Came across my Twitter feed. Someone has up on sale. It's called Heritage Auctions. It's the Nintendo PlayStation Super NES CD-ROM prototype.
It's probably going to go for six figures.
Yeah, it's at $23,000 with a buyer's premium of 20. What do they charge you for buying it? Is that
yes. That's how actual auction houses make money, Don.
Yeah,
I mean, I just hadn't seen it. I just hadn't seen that in a long time, so I wasn't sure if it was the same thing I was thinking or not.
So that's the prototype of the Super NES CD-ROM that never came out. One of them. I forgot how the guy came across it. He found it somewhere. It's going to go for a lot of money.
This was this was kind of like the JVC XI, in the same vein of that.
Well, so that PlayStation, I think, had a cartridge slot on it. The one that would probably come out, I always assumed was going to just be an add-on for the Super NES.
Yeah. Wow. $23,000.
Oh, it'll go for more than that. I'm certain.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still got 22 days left.
Yeah.
I just figured it'd be one of those things that interests you, at least as far as knowing about it.
Yeah, I know about it. I've known about it since 1993.
Sorry.
No. I didn't. Not about the prototype. I've known about the Super NES CD-ROM since '93.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. There was originally Street Fighter 2 Turbo was originally going to come out for that, and they ended up putting it onto a cart. Or maybe John, was it Super that was going to come? I think it was Turbo that was going to come out originally on the CD-ROM, and then they did a cart version of it.
Yeah.
The cart.
Turbo.
Yeah. Turbo is a 24 megabit cart, which is a lot back then. I think I paid $80 for it. Super on the Super NES is a 32 megabit cart, and it's a 40 megabit cart on the Genesis. Yeah, memory wasn't cheap, so CDs were, which was one of the reasons, of course, they wanted to do it. They increased the profit margin substantially by going to CD-ROM. Yeah. Turbo is still my favorite Street Fighter game. And the damn Arcade 1-Up cabinet doesn't have it.
Oh, it will the next time they do a Street Fighter cabinet, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, the cocktail cabinet head-to-head has it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that tells you. It's coming, man.
Yeah.
I send emails every day that are at least 25 meg. That's sad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What else?
I would like to see a chart of the greatest video games in history and the size of the game itself. It'd be awesome to see.
Super Mario Brothers, 16 kilobits, if I remember right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some of the greatest ones are tiny.
Yeah.
How much memory was Super Mario World?
4 or maybe 2 megabits? I think it was 4. I can tell you real quick. Mario World ROM size. No, that's Super Mario Brothers. Oh, Super Mario Brothers is 31K, not.
That's like a Facebook avatar.
What?
No, it's like a quarter of a Facebook avatar.
Yeah, like 15K, 30K. It's like it's your avatar.
ROM size. Wikipedia not list that? No, it doesn't. You would think
that's weird.
In that little box where they list out everything, that they would have the ROM size. I was thinking it was a 4 megabit cart, but
I mean, 2 to 4 megabits sounds like the right range.
All right, well, it's getting late, and we're not talking about Transformers or Star Trek anymore, so I'm gonna head out.
Good
night, guys.
Good night, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the stream. We'll catch you later, guys. Merry Christmas? No. What's next holiday? Valentine's Day. It's not being spent at Toy Fair, so go and give a hug to whoever is your significant other or your pillow, whatever you have, and yeah, just be thankful. It could be worse. Could always be worse.